So you want a photo? You want a photo out, sir? What are the three
These are
things?
Albanians, mainly from Macedonia, but we got one from Montenegro, and they're all concerned about the future.
And one from
Yes.
Kosovo.
Yes.
Right here.
Because I opened this, she wasn't one of the ones that would regularly call it, but she was talking about how
There's actually a Waffle House.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it.
Right.
but she had another acronym that she used for it. And just, she's like, I love the
End up in the Democratic Party.
I missed it. That's okay. Well, I don't think you haven't gone public with this organization, but you are in the press, and you're with Kim Mehmeti, and Mehmeti is being backed by the Islamists in Turkey. So we really need to talk. Do you know that he only called the night before all of that we were going to be taken off? And
Scott, different angles, Scott. Get it back there so you can hear Shirley.
No, I don't want this video.
It's a mix.
No, we don't want this video.
We can take the voice out of it.
We don't want to hear.
We cut and paste.
So the thing is, he would not speak with us for 5 weeks, right? And then expected to come. And I said, you know, we're really disappointed because it makes it
Thank you for making the sacrifice.
it makes it appear as if you are.
I think tomorrow.
You just want our name civically and put it on Facebook and send it back. You're showing us.
No one thought I could get
I
away.
just did this.
So I had no place to stay. I stayed at a hotel.
That was a good hotel.
I won the election. By 1,000 votes. You won.
Why don't you share that with me, right?
Fellas, come on.
Excuse me. No one is going to think we're with us. Yeah, but none of them
No, just so I explain it because I think Albanians like history.
explain
See
what.
this hotel here? When I was elected a congressman, nobody gave me any chance to win. So I didn't prepare. I went on election day. They had to count twice to make sure I won. I won by 1,000 votes out of 300,000. So my brother, I said, Dick, you gotta help me. I don't know where to live in Washington. We found this hotel. I lived here for 2 months.
You know why?
We
Because
found
they
a
rent
place
part
we
of
live.
it. They rent part of it.
Now I'm
They're
going to
like-
show you, once people said, oh, he did win, then I was able to figure out what I got to do is right. And I bought a townhouse. I'm going to show you. But when my kids were here with me, don't forget, Kara was only 14 and my son was 10. We went on Sundays to this church, right here. People, they didn't live here. So it had to be on Easter Sunday or some occasion. Now, you know what that building is?
Library of Congress.
That building goes 7 stories down. It has every book in the world, the voices, and you have Albanian voices, Archie Pipa and others. They wanted to have the Albanian language. It's in that building. It's a library of Congress. This is my old townhouse, 123 D Street. Okay? But when I lost the race, how am I going to keep the townhouse? I can't keep this townhouse. So I didn't aggressively sell it. Then I keep hearing that another congressman wants to buy it. But someone told me he's worth a lot of money, Portugas. I didn't know he's going to become the head of the CIA. So I sold it to the head of the CIA. And then when
And
I
he
ran...
remodeled it, by the way,
Oh,
beautifully.
perfectly.
He remodeled it.
Yeah, but I sold it. I bought it for 125, and the market value, the broker says you're going to get maybe 150. I said, I'm not selling this house for less than 250. He gave me 250. So
That's
because
your-
the wife fell in love with it. Now, would you believe I come back down here with Shirley, 2009, before I run for the Senate,
we were making
because he left the
making a fair
CIA
amount of
and it was
money.
on the market. Now he wants $1 million for it.
No, everything here
But it was
goes
perfect,
for
everything fixed up.
1.2 million. Everything.
But you know what happened? With all these things going down, I couldn't put it all together. so I
No,
can
we
buy
couldn't
it.
pull it off. Thank God, because we would have been in trouble later.
Because I thought I was going to
We
sell this
lost our
property out in
position
Florida.
because the company went down.
Yeah, so the point is, he fixed it up so perfectly.
It's beautiful.
I said, what a dream. Now, we're going to buy another one
It's still a
within 2
little
years.
too small.
That was too
So
small.
now,
we
back
got to buy
to-
a bigger one.
We're due at the Capitol Hill Club.
But this is beautiful.
And
It had a
film.
backyard. It had parking in the back.
Thank you, Scott.
It was good. Oh, then, where did I move when I sold this? Because I had to stay down here for the Albanians. I was in Congress. I got an apartment in here. I rented
And this place.
across the street.
This is a place that has apartments.
That's not Leo from Iowa. Wisconsin. We got it from all over the
Hi,
country.
James McConnell. Nice to
This
meet
is
you.
the new base of our army for the Albanian people. They came from every part of America, St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City, right?
He's the ultimate organizer.
We made boys very happy. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock here. Wherever he goes to raise, we come. If you can come to see here, I know there's going to be 3 or 4 congressmen. We invited you, but your staff said you're going to come to the briefing. If you can come by for a drink at 4 o'clock, come.
No, I can't.
I know.
Sorry, we were out on Friday for a break for the election. And so it's my day from hell. This is the last week.
This is the lobby at work. Come on, everybody, move up here. This is the lead. All right, turn around. Get that Capitol. And Stephen, keep walking. I mean, Scott, keep walking to the Capitol. Look at that beautiful image. Keep focusing on it as we walk. Isn't that gorgeous? Don't forget, the plane that went down in Pennsylvania, that was the one that's supposed to hit this. Huh? Those guys took down. Okay, follow me. Okay, your turn to pull. All right.
You know, see the point?
Bye.
Whoa.
Tiga nama bu.
Come on up.
Okay,
Sorry.
just follow me.
Come on up.
Okay. Yeah, he wants to see the card. Here it is.
Here it is.
There you go. Are you coming in too?
I'm coming.
Gentlemen, former Congressman DioGuardi, New York, how you doing? I got friends of mine that I'm bringing in. I know what you need to see, but, all right, my wife,
Can I come in?
the room that made Albanians famous
It's right
and
here.
its power.
It's to the right.
Is that 137?
It's right here.
Come over here.
It is.
139.
9, which I always said, the Henry
Yeah,
Hyder.
139.
Everyone was
139.
saying 137. I said,
This
no,
is the
it's
room
139.
that we gave, turn the camera this way. Are you filming?
Yeah.
Of course.
Let me tell you why this is important.
Don't knock
This
me
is the
over.
room that we gave Henry Hyde 1 million signatures we collected in Kosovo.
Right,
And
and you
all
were
the young
there.
people.
Yeah, Morris was
And
there.
It's on Voice of America. We have it on our website. And then he delivered it to George Bush
Yeah.
1 year before George Bush.
I don't know whether you know about it. It's the campaign I
this is
started
very
called,
important.
it was called
We had 1
Breaking the
million
Silence.
Neshrimi, not Neshrimi,
Yeah.
from Kosovo. We brought here piles, and we gave it, you were here with us. We gave it to Henry Hyde.
Called Breaking the
In
Silence.
this room. Now, we should have had this room tomorrow, but now they changed the rules. This is not controlled by the
And
chairman
this-
of the Foreign Affairs Committee, controlled by the speaker, and the speaker now doesn't want anybody to use any of these rooms.
And this room over here is Ways and Means, which
Yeah.
we hope to get instead, but they're having a dinner tomorrow for the whole Ways and Means Committee.
Believe me, we went for everything
So
possible.
we can't go here.
But we have a very good room, and by the way, they said, Joe and Shirley, you're looking at this room tomorrow, because they're constructing now all these rooms, and this was going to be taken by someone.
No,
But because the chairman said, can't use that, give that
No,
to the
they're
employee.
reconstructing Cannon, so they're moving everyone from Cannon, over into the hearing room so that they have a place to work. Can you imagine?
Now, look at this. Come back. Remember Michelangelo, what he did at Sistine Chapel? You can't believe the art in this building. You have to look at the ceilings. I'm going to take you upstairs. You're going to see some of the most famous. Have you all been in the dome? Have you been inside the dome?
No, not everybody.
No. Well, wait till you see this.
We're going.
You have the most famous artist from America is Turner. He has all the history of
From
America.
1700.
1700s. Well, before you go up there, I want you to see the statues. See these statues here? In this building is 2 statues from every state. That's his name is Keller. See now the state is the shield, but it's tough to read what state that is. What state is it? Virginia. West Virginia. Okay, follow me before the state. We're going this way. I gotta show them something else. How this building was built. This building has no steel except the cupola. So when they put this wing, they had to create all these big things, but in the middle, the dome was so heavy. Where do you see this all the way? I'm going to show you. Here's John Winchell, Connecticut. This is the first black congresswoman. She's from New York. It was in 1865. They didn't have the steel. They put some steel in the dome, but they didn't have steel for this building. So this is what's supporting now the weight of the dome. Is that unbelievable?
It was all done by Italians and French.
And some more statues in here. The House from the Senate.
Senate.
Everything on this side is the Senate, everything on this side is the House. And upstairs, the Senate made sure even the tile's different, because they don't want to be anything like the House. We have 2 separate houses, and they got to be shown to be separate in every way. Even the way they're voted, even the way they're supported, and even the physical. When I show you upstairs, the design on the Senate, all Italian surroundings, fancy, on the House, very American. So you ready to go? No. This is the original House of Representatives. The Speaker's chair was right there. There was nothing beyond that wall. They built that when the country got bigger. In 1870, they had to put a room on that side and a room for the Senate. So it stopped at that wall.
Look up.
So now, when I'm a new congressman, and Reagan was so happy because 46 members. I was the 46th. They thought they had 45. The last minute, I'm the 46th. He throws a dinner for all the new congressmen and their wives in this room with the Navy band, and I'm sitting, and what do you think I'm looking down at? Now, let me show you the picture of the old house is right here. It used to be here. Let me see if they took it away. These are the pictures I wanted you to see, the beginning of the United States. Hey, Shirley, the place, has to be rehabilitated. Okay, now, what you're seeing here are some of the greatest photos of the beginning of the United States of America. You see General George Washington, you even have the Indians over here, how we tried to deal with them in the beginning, even before the...
Deal with them, wipe them out.
Well, no. Before we tried to wipe them out, we tried to trade with them. And they were nice to us. They gave us food. You remember Thanksgiving? We killed them. Without their turkeys, we wouldn't survive.
Let's be honest.
So this is...
Let's be honest, right?
Now,
Coloring
this is
America.
beautiful because this is the Declaration of Independence. This is self-determination. What Kosovo did and what the Albanians in Macedonia want to do and all over is what we call self-determination. Who do you want to be? What kind of country do you want to live in? Are you being respected in the country? If not, you do what the United States did. You go to war against the majority, which was the king.
You hope that the U.S.
King George
will support
III.
you, but we're not sure.
They said, what are you, crazy? You can't beat Great Britain. We beat Great Britain. We had a great leader. His name was George Washington. All right? This is the Declaration of Independence signed by all these people. Everyone who put their signature here, the king said, would be hung. They were all pronounced to be dead because they signed that they wanted to leave England. This was bravery. And a lot of them knew they could lose all their money, all their property, but they risked to save the country, 13 colonies, by signing this.
This is what the
They
U.S.
did it
should be reminded
in this
of.
room. So Albanians have to remember that the way this country was born is the way Kosovo was born. And the way that Albanian nation will be born will be the same way. Because that's international law. That if you want to be states some other kind of power besides just the vote of representatives. And in those days, this was like a House of Lords. This was very wealthy people that appointed. The Senate was not elected until much later on. So let me read this to you now, because he's the next. So here it is, the Senate chambers from 1810 to 1859. During its residence in the chamber, 1810 to 1859, the United States Senate grew from a small advisory council to the primary forum for the great national debates of the mid-19th century. In this room, Senators Daniel Webster, Henry Clay, John Calhoun fiercely debated the issues of slavery, territorial expansion, economic policy that divided us as a nation back then. In this chamber, senators forged a series of compromises that held the Union together in the 4 decades prior to the Civil War. See, it took 10 years of arguing what we were going to do with slavery. Nobody wanted a Civil War, but they couldn't agree. The war then killed 500,000 Americans, and had to be decided that we would be a country without slavery. Now, imagine the people who had slaves for 200 years. This was their power. This was their money.
Yeah.
Well, without the slaves, they had nothing. So they weren't about to give it up.
Like New York.
On the other side, yeah, I'll move, because I've been here, so you should go ahead.
This is, now you see the people, when they wanted to come in, they sat up there.
Same like in the other.
The gallery.
Right,
they call it.
gallery.
Right. But it was small, so few people came. Now, believe it or not, this is used today only in very special occasions. When a very powerful senator retires, they let him come in here to give his speech, and the senators come in to hear it. Isn't that beautiful? So they remember what it was.
It's one of the
Argued. Isn't this beautiful? Huh? Supreme Court gallery clock. Well, that's a clock. Oh, I guess they're talking about that clock there.
Yeah.
Many big cases were argued here till 1860. And then the country grew, got more complicated. They had to build that big building right across here.
Yeah.
And then the judges sat there.
7 judges?
You know, today we have 9. I don't know whether they changed it in the middle.
I see
7
two
judges.
chairs in the end.
Wasn't it?
You see 2 chairs
FDR?
in the end. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You know why?
In the end.
Because in
Those
those,
9
days,
chairs.
in those days, they discriminated against Italians. You had 2 Italian
Oh,
judges.
stop it.
Our help. These are the most pro-American people in the world. And we need to be with them. They want self-determination, the way Congressman Rohrabacher said today, right? And that's what it's all about. They want to be who they want to be. And today in Europe,
Freedom of state.
freedom of everything. But today they don't want to be a minority under a government that puts the boots on them like Milosevic did in Kosovo. And that's why we came to Washington, right? To talk about Macedonia, because today the Albanians are being repressed in Macedonia too. So with that, what else can I say? I'm just happy to be here. This is the greatest democratic room in the world.
We want to have our state.
Right. And what's our state? Our state is the Albanian nation.
Yes, sir.
Albanian nation means 7 million Albanians, and it's unfortunate they drew these lines around us. That wasn't our deal. That was done by people after World War I, and they did it without the knowledge that Albanians were not Slavs. They almost put in all the Albanians in a new state called Yugoslavia. Thank God for Woodrow Wilson, correct? He saved, in 1919, the country of Albania.
He saved us.
And then thank God later on for George W. Bush, because then he gave independence to Kosovo. Okay? Okay. And thank God for America. God bless America.
God bless
Okay.
God bless America.
Put it away. 2218. Very important because it looks like we're going to get the medals and honors for 2 black war heroes, and I want to be sure that he is in on it. He's going to do it. But he gave me the key person in his office, Shirley. See, if you don't have the rights there, Shirley's 12, who's with us? Right, oh, yes, okay. To show you the car we have, they told him to set it up with a nice table. Look at it. And isn't that beautiful? So now I go around. This is a subcommittee hearing. Being a robot is the chairman of the European. This is his work. So we got, I believe we got instructed so much around here, it was tough to get this one. Come on in. Hey, look who's here. The best thing ever happened to Albania. Sammy Januzi, you're here.
Are corrupt. They're absolutely hand in glove with the ethnic Macedonian side, and they're trying to fuel this nationalist anger.
Let's try to get some
Yeah, we need transparency. We need the State Department not to sit on the sidelines because, oh, you're doing what we say in terms of Serbia or something, because they are building a future. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Oh my God, that's great.
So
You know,
wonderful.
maybe in the spring?
Yeah, we'll have the subcommittee do a hearing this week.
Also,
Dana.
Well, Dana, if it's up
That would be great.
the Macedonian government, also the Serbians, they want to be that way. So that's why they say, we are okay, but look the Albania. But they are the one who make it. And they are the one who pay that.
But let's
But they stay on the side.
let's get involved. Let's see
Uncovered.
what we can do in order to surface all the information.
exactly. That's what we need. Disinfected
Have a
is
hearing
white.
on it.
Did he go in? Tell him, get him back here to take a picture.
April 200.
Tell him we want to take a picture.
Sometime in the spring's not a bad idea.
Now, you probably have to run to another place.
Well, I think